My boyfriend ditched me on our anniversary to punish me because my ex visited my sick dad in the hospital, then he lied and said he got drunk alone at a bar, but his female friend told me he was actually with her and her friends, so now he's harassing my ex on social media and making new accounts when he gets blocked. Posted by you/throw anniversary 1. 2 weeks ago, it was mine and Mark's 30th anniversary. We, 27F, have been dating for 2 years. We had plans after he finished work, but he never showed up. I tried to call and text him, but he ignored me all day and didn't contact me until after 1 a.m. He was drunk and went on a rant about how I deserved this because I shouldn't have invited Jason, my ex, 28M, to my parents' house. I was pretty mad at him and told him I thought we should break up. He ended up apologizing profusely and assuring me he would never do something like that again and he was just feeling insecure. I decided to give him a second chance. To clarify about Jason, we had an amicable breakup 3 years ago because we didn't like having a long-distance relationship whilst he was away for med school. My dad had a heart attack a week before my anniversary, and Jason went to see him since his mom is friends with mine. Mark and I turned up whilst he was there. Jason was discussing some of the treatment options the doctors had given my dad with my mom. He left a little while later. When he left, my mom made a comment about how helpful Jason was. Mark mentioned later that he didn't like that Jason was there or what my mom said about him, but I reassured him he was there as a family friend and not an ex. He seemed to be over it after that. Yesterday, Mark's friend Penelope mentioned how Mark had gone out with her and a group of her friends that day. I'm furious because he told me he had spent the day at a bar alone getting drunk. Mark doesn't understand why I'm angry over this since I already forgave him for missing our anniversary. Would breaking up with him be an overreaction? Edit to add more info, my parents are nice to my boyfriend. They like him and have never mentioned Jason to him until this happened. They still talk to him, Jason, if they see him whenever he comes back for a visit, but as far as I know they don't go out of their way to keep in contact with him anymore. I stopped talking to Jason 3 months into dating my boyfriend because he, my boyfriend, said he didn't like it. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, I would suggest it heavily. He's obviously not ready for something serious if he's going to throw a tantrum, purposely ditch your anniversary to then lie to your face and say he was drunk by himself. Then his female friend broke the actual truth to you that he wasn't alone and was drunk with friends, while you were, I'm guessing, clearly upset and angry for missing an important date. He never tried to hear why your ex was there, I'm guessing, and wanted to punish you? If so, that's childish and I wouldn't want to be stuck dating a man-child that would rather be petty than actually talk. Ops response, we did talk about my ex being there and he seemed to understand, only to pull this a week later. Commenter 2, wait, so you both had a talk about this, and were okay with everything? Then he acts passive-aggressively, unlike a man-child about it? Ops response, yup. Commenter 3, it kind of sounds like he cheated on you a little bit. Ops response, he says he didn't. Commenter 4, first paragraph you said you invited the ex over, or at least that is what your current boyfriend thinks. Second paragraph makes it sound like ex just showed up on his own to check in on your dad. Your boyfriend definitely should have talked to you in either situation. If it was the second situation, then he is definitely overreacting. If it was the first situation, then he is still overreacting, but he does have some possible reasonable concerns, albeit also maybe from insecurity. There is more to it than just your ex being there. Your boyfriend needs to communicate whatever he is feeling or thinking to you. Sounds like the communication between you two needs some work. Like most answers on here, just communicate with each other. If you or him aren't willing to be open and honest with one another, then I'd recommend reconsidering a relationship together. Ops response, sorry for the confusion, I didn't invite him, but my boyfriend assumed I did. Commenter 5, I would dump his butt. Your dad was sick. A good boyfriend would understand that. Your ex was there to help. Then your boyfriend ditched you to get revenge, and lied to you about where he was. I think you should talk to him, and then dump him. Why did you even get together with him in the first place? He seems like a jerk. I'm sure you can find a better guy, one that will understand that your father's health is far more important to you than ghosting your ex. You are both adults. You didn't cheat on your boyfriend. You didn't do anything wrong. Then he hangs out with another girl on your anniversary and lies about it. You deserve the sun, and all you have now is a light bulb. Dump him. Ops response, he wasn't like this before. Op on why Jason was there at the hospital. OP, Jason's mom asked him to go because the doctor my parents spoke to didn't explain the treatment options very well, and he clarified them to reassure my mom. I didn't even know he was going to be there. If Mark's ex did the same thing, I wouldn't be upset. I would be happy his parents were getting support and reassurance during a difficult time. OP, he's finished med school. He was dumbing down the treatment options because the doc my parents saw didn't speak to them for very long and was very rush, so my mom was overwhelmed by it all. It was more to help reassure my mom than anything else. Op responds to a downvoted comment about her current boyfriend and her being toxic with her wanting to break up. OP, no. I said we should break up because he stood me up on our anniversary and then called me drunk to blame me for it. Did Jason have Op's number? OP, Jason doesn't have my number, and my boyfriend asked me to block him on everything, so it's not like he could ask me even if he wanted to. Update, 4 days later. After I posted my original post, I asked Mark for some space to think and went to stay with my parents. He was upset but said he would respect my decision. He did send me one text after I left which said he was sorry, and he loved me. Jason's mom called me the day after to ask if she could give him my number. This was very random since he's always respected my decision not to stay in touch with him, so I figured it had to be something important. I gave her the go-ahead, and Jason called me later in the day. He sounded pretty irritated on the phone and asked me to tell my boyfriend to leave him alone. Mark had been harassing him on social media all day since I moved out. He'd sent him some nasty and threatening messages, and he also commented on every picture that included me on his profile. Mark's messages read like he was drunk, not that that is an excuse. Jason did block him, but Mark kept making new accounts. I was super embarrassed by his behavior and apologized to Jason and told him I'd talk to Mark. Mark denied it. He tried to say Jason faked the screenshots he sent me to make Mark look bad. When I told him I didn't believe him, he got angry and tried to twist it back onto me again. He asked me why Jason even had my number, why we were even talking to each other, and he accused me of letting him ruin our relationship. He also made a comment about how I should just go be with Jason if that's what I wanted. I think my relationship is gone. I wanted to try to address his jealousy and how he handles it to see if we could work things out, but he just isn't willing or able to talk about it without getting defensive. The last conversation I had with Jason was him sending me a screenshot of Mark apologizing to him, but this just feels performative now. I don't really know what I'll do now, but I'll post a final update when I've made my decision. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, are Jason and your parents close? Do they meet regularly? Op's response, he was close to them when we dated, and they still saw him occasionally after, whenever he came home for the holidays, if they went over to his parents' place whilst he was there, but they don't go out of their way to meet as far as I'm aware. Commenter 2, just a tad bit strange how close your ex is with your parents lol. Just saying. Not making excuses for your new boyfriend, but whatever. Op's response, they've known him, my ex, his whole life if that makes it less strange.